Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Guru Talks. It's me, Rahima Bawaba, again, and I'm going to be a moderator of this session. Today's our guest is Dr. Matt Kemal. Let me introduce our guest to you a little bit. Dr. Med Kemal is a Chevron Fellow Emeritus with primary responsibilities including competency development within the company, identification and development of emerging and white space technology opportunities, and provision of technological advice and counsel to senior management. He formerly was a fellow and leader at the Dynamic Reservoir Characterization Group for Chevron Energy Technology Company. Before Chevron, he worked for ARCO, for Petros Schlumberger, and Amoco. Kemal has been recognized as an SP Distinguished Member and Honorary Member and has received SP's Cedric Ferguson Medal, North and East Texas Regional Service Award, Formation Evaluation Award, and Distinguished Service Award. He has twice served as a distinguished lecturer. He holds master and doctorate degree in petroleum engineering from Stanford University and a bachelor degree in petroleum engineering and master in engineering from Cairo University. So, Dr. Med, would you like to say something to us before we get started?
Well, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I know that people all around the world are in different time zones. So good day for everybody. And I want to thank you for inviting me to talk with you and answer some of the questions that you have. With that, let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you very much. Before, I would like to mention that it's an honor to be here today. I'm very happy. So let's start from part one. It's early life and personal life questions. My first question is for you. It's our first question, and I really like to ask this question, to be honest. Where you were born, and how would you describe yourself as a child?
I was born in Cairo, Egypt. And as a child, I'm just going to say the description that my family said to me about me. My mother said that I was a very active child. I actually used to cause a lot of trouble all around the place. So in order to help with that, she asked the headmaster of an elementary school that was on the same street as our house if he would like to be nice and take me and put me in the school with other kids so I will not be as disruptive at the house as I was. So the headmaster accepted that. And as a result of that, actually, I started school at the age of 3. And that's the main reason why I finished high school at 15 years old, and I graduated from the School of Engineering at Cairo University while I was 20 years old. So as a child, I was active, disruptive, but my family found a way to channel this energy into something else.
Wow, I'm shocked. You started at when you were 3?
I'm sorry?
You started when you were 3, yeah?
I started school when I was 3.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. So my second question is, when you were a child, what was your dream job and why?
I don't think I had a dream job when I was a child. I knew what I wanted to do, and I always wanted to know how things work. I know that I remember I have an uncle who used to say that whenever he used to give me a toy, rather than playing with this toy, I was actually opened up and trying to find out how it works. So that is what I was always wanted to do, find out how things work and why they work the way they work. Of course, I did not know anything about a job at that time. That was just the way it is. Now, of course, in the part of the world that I grew up, families expected all their children to grow up to be doctors or engineers. So that was the thinking, that I'm going to be a doctor as an engineer. This is a family way. And that is actually interesting thing. I remember recently one of the things I do is that I interview students for incoming students for Stanford University. It's part of their admission. And I was interviewing a very talented young man, and I was asking him about what does he want to do. And he says, I am rebelling against my family. This person, by the way, his family is from the Philippines. And he said that I'm rebelling against my family. Everybody in my family wants everybody to be an engineer or a doctor, but I want to be a writer. And I want to, when I go to school, I want to be in the School of Science and Arts rather than preparing for the School of Medicine or being an engineer. So when I was growing up, I just wanted to find out how things work. And as I said, the family thinking is that, oh, our son will need to be a doctor or an engineer.
I see. Thank you very much for answering our question. So this is also an interesting question for me. What's your favorite pastime activity? Why do you like doing? Why do you like doing it? Like,
okay, pastime is the kind of like a couple of things. Number one, I actually like playing and to a lesser extent watching sports. I like to play tennis a lot right now. I also run, jog. When I was younger, of course, like everybody growing in just about everywhere in the world, with the exception of part of North America, I used to play soccer, football for most of the what's called most of the world. So I like playing sports and, as I said, to this extent, watching them. Now, the reason for that is that it is fun. You are trying to win against somewhat unknown conditions. Your opponent is also trying to do her or his best. And so you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But at the end, you are doing something good for yourself. That is one of the things that all my life I used to like to do as pastime. Now, recently, my pastime also included something even a whole lot more fun, which is visiting and playing with my grandchildren. That is extremely nice to me. That's something very enjoyable, and it is very interesting to have fun with them, and also to some extent try to guide them into what you think should be their way later on.
I see. That's perfect. I find rowing very peaceful. That's my pastime activity. But soccer, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about a moment when a person's kindness made a difference in your life?
You think a little bit about that. There are, I'm sure, several ways, but during my first year as a graduate student at Stanford University, I was trying to find an internship during the upcoming summer. And the late Professor Solly Marsden took it upon himself to help me with that. He wrote a letter of recommendation that was 3 pages long. And he started contacting oil companies, trying to find a place for me, and kept on advocating for me to have a summer job. This is a little bit more, a whole lot more actually, than what you usually get from an advisor or a university professor who say, will write you a paragraph or something saying, recommending you. And as a result of that, he was actually, I was successful to get an internship with a company that's called Pan American Oil Company. that later changed its name to Amoco Company, and that actually started my career. I worked with them for one summer, and they invited me to go on and work with them for subsequent summers, and that actually started my career in the following my getting my formal education. That was very kind of him to do that, and it actually shaped the way my professional life happened after that.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you very much. So we talked about your childhood, and we talked about when you were a student. So if you could go back any age, what would it be?
Actually, this time, Alhamdulillah, I'm having a wonderful time with my family, my wife, which of course she's the real reason behind everything. My children, my grandchildren, I mentioned them before. And on the professional level, I am having an opportunity in front of me to lead the Petroleum Engineering Society, SPE, through a very exciting time in front of us, a time for sustainable transition. So I would say that the time that I would prefer to be in is this time where we're actually are right now. That would be the time I would think about.
Thank you very much. It was the end of part 1, so now I'm moving to part 2. Before moving, would you like to take a break, or should I just go on?